In this life, there are days when we feel like a lonely boat in the middle of the ocean, without wind, without sails, only endless fatigue. We are struggling with a lot of work, with tangled relationships, with responsibilities that seem never-ending. Every morning when we wake up, our body feels a little heavier. Our mind is as tangled as a ball of thread, but our feet still have to move. Because we believe that if we stop, we will be left behind. Some people are tired because of the burden of making a living, tossing and turning at night, thinking about bills and debts. Some people are tired because of emotional pain, because of loneliness that they cannot share with anyone. We often try to brace ourselves, try to smile brightly to prove that we are fine. But deep inside, we are just a child who really needs a place to stop, to breathe, and to listen to our own hearts. We are tired but do not dare to say it. We are lonely but do not dare to find a shoulder to lean on. Gradually, those pains accumulate, turning into an invisible burden on our shoulders, making our steps heavier and heavier without knowing where to go. Have you ever wondered if you have ever truly lived for yourself? Or are you just living like a machine, racing day after day with the goals and desires of others in society? Only then will you realize that what you really need is not to run faster to overcome everything, but to allow yourself to stop for a while. Buddha once taught, when the mind is too tired, know how to stop, know how to let go to nourish the energy of peace. Letting go sometimes does not mean giving up everything, but giving the soul a necessary silence to see more clearly, to distinguish what is really needed to keep, what is to be gently put down. Just like a river that keeps flowing without a bend, it will easily break its banks. People are the same. If they keep rushing into the hustle and bustle, endless ambitions, the body and mind will wear out. Stopping is to listen to the heart and find peace again. If you are tired, take a rest. It is not a sign of weakness, but an act of courage. Because in this life, no one can run forever without getting tired, and no one can bear all the worries without getting hurt. We need to learn to love ourselves as we would a tired friend. When the Buddha taught, when the mind is too tired, know how to stop, know how to let go to nourish the energy of peace. He did not ask us to give up everything we have. His teaching is like a good friend whispering to us, "Hey friend, there are things that are not worth holding on to anymore. Try to relax your hands a little. You will feel lighter." Think of our life as a journey. Every day we go, we pick up more work, expectations, hurtful words, and worries in our backpack. The backpack is light at first, but the more we go, the heavier it gets until we no longer have the strength to walk. Stopping at this point is not surrendering, but rather opening the backpack, sorting and putting down unnecessary things. There are things we should let go of immediately, for example, the careless words of others, a criticism from a colleague, an unpleasant remark from a loved one. If we keep it in our hearts and torment ourselves all day, it is no different than adding fuel to the fire of anger. Those words have already passed, but our attachment keeps holding on to them, making us suffer endlessly. Let them go. Like the wind blowing and the clouds drifting, our mind will become clear again. There are things we should gradually let go of. Imagine the story of Ms. Lan, a small market vendor. She has a wedding ring left by her husband. The ring was originally a precious keepsake, but after her husband passed away, It became an invisible chain that bound her in grief for 10 years. Every time she saw the ring, she cried. The pain felt like it was just yesterday. Until one day, when she heard the teachings of a monk, she realized that keeping the ring was not a way to keep her lover, but a way to lock her own heart. Letting go of the ring and offering it to the temple, she did not forget her husband, but the pain was no longer a bleeding wound but became a gentle love, a motivation for her to live better. Land's story shows us that attachment to material things or painful memories does not help us keep anything, but only makes us suffer many times more. Letting go is not forgetting, but transforming pain into comfort, into a motivation to live. Suffering in life also comes from dissatisfaction. We tend to expect everything to happen the way we want. Work must be successful, love must be perfect, life must be rosy. When one of those things does not happen, we blame and complain. We think we are victims of life, but in fact, that suffering comes from our attachment to a perfect result. The Buddha taught very clearly in the Four Noble Truths that suffering is an obvious truth. Life is suffering. Suffering is not to punish us, but is the inherent nature of human life. Understanding this, we will stop blaming ourselves or blaming life, because fatigue, failure, or suffering are simply part of the journey of maturity. Let's look at the story of Mr. Hung, a garment worker who had been with the company for 15 years. He was hard-working, gentle, and just wanted a peaceful life. But then the company went bankrupt, and he suddenly lost his job at the age of 40. The burden of his family weighed heavily on his shoulders, and he fell into a deadlock and despair. He felt that life was too unfair, but after many months of torment, he realized that complaining would not help. He started learning how to repair motorbikes and did small jobs. Life was no longer as stable as before, but his heart felt lighter because he had accepted the truth and stopped expecting everything to go his way. Hung's story teaches us that failure is not the end. It is just a bend in the river of life. If we know how to accept, let go of resentment and self-pity, we will have more strength to move forward. We also have another suffering, which is the ego. When someone says something that is not to our liking, we feel hurt. When others do something different from what we want, we get angry. That ego is like a big rock in our heart. The more we hold it, the heavier it gets. The story of an engineer named Kwong is an example. He is talented, confident, but also very patriarchal. He always wants his wife to do what he wants because he believes he is right. The marriage is broken because of that, leading to divorce. After that shock, he realized that the main reason was that his ego was too big, preventing him from listening and understanding others. He began to change, learning to let go of his ego, learning to love himself properly, not by indulging his ego but by respecting and accepting it. Letting go of the ego is not denying yourself, but letting yourself be free, not being chained by unreasonable desires. When we have less desires, we will demand less, blame less, and learn to be tolerant. Letting go, after all, is a journey to return and heal yourself. It is learning to accept that life is inherently impermanent. Everything changes. Nothing is permanent. And instead of trying to hold on to things that cannot be held, we should learn to appreciate what we have. Dear friend, after all the stories and teachings of Buddha, perhaps the most important thing we need to bring with us is not distant theories, but a very small change in our hearts. When life is too tiring, Do not try to find a place to escape, because true peace is not far away. It is right inside you. Letting go is not giving up on life, but the courage of a person who knows how to love himself. Letting go of reproaches to make room for gratitude. Letting go of unnecessary burdens so that your feet can walk lightly. Letting go of past hurts so that your soul can be calm and peaceful. Living each moment fully, no longer bound by the past or afraid of the future. That is how we find joy in the simplest things. Try slowing down for once. When you wake up in the morning, don't rush to turn on your phone. Take a deep breath and feel the fullness of life within you. Take a few minutes to sit still, listen to the birds chirping outside, the gentle wind blowing. That is a way to let your soul rest. That is how you practice mindfulness, returning to the present moment, where peace is always present. In this life, everyone has their own difficulties. Don't compare yourself with others to see yourself lacking, and don't blame yourself for your failures. Believe that every wound, every stumble is a valuable lesson, a part of the journey to maturity. Thanks to rainy days, we know how to appreciate sunny days. Thanks to suffering, we crave and appreciate peace. If you are tired, please listen to this message. Allow yourself to rest, to let go. Don't be afraid of being left behind, because in fact, in this life, no one can run forever without getting tired. Love yourself like a close friend. Only when you know how to embrace and heal your heart will you have enough compassion to love those around you. Hopefully, whenever your heart is troubled, you will remember these words to know that peace is not the absence of storms, but in the midst of storms, the heart is still at peace. Only when we can let go of attachments can we truly smile at ourselves and at life.